yesterday's makeup, this morning's tea. I wanted to segue this into the tools that you use to open yourself up to receiving messages. All kinds of things are happening, and some of them I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to explain in a way that it makes sense for everybody. The last couple of days, I've been getting, where do I start with this? And that's how it's gonna be, folks. I'm getting a bunch of downloads, and my understanding has been that a new spirit guide is coming in, and it is big, and it is creating a great big collective. And again, it sounds bizarre to say out loud sitting in my kitchen, in my pajamas on a random Tuesday, but this has been happening for a couple of days. I was speaking with someone this morning, or typing with someone this morning, about the idea of, I know they're around me, but I can't get their messages, or I'm not understanding what they're saying. And I feel like that's when tools and the practice of your tool comes into play. So tools can be pendulum. Tools can be tarot cards. Tools can be journaling. Tools can be meditation or daydreaming. Tools can be scrying, whether it's in the kitchen sink, or you're using a crystal ball, or you're using a mirror, or you're using just any old surface, a wall. Oh my gosh, when I was little, I used to use the walls, and you would see faces and patterns and stuff come out. Have you ever done that? There's a thing that happens when you start to study with the tool. So it's almost like the psychic stuff is over here, and now I'm over here trying to learn about the tool, how it works, how it benefits, how to play safely with them, because even a Ouija board can be a tool. And I know a bunch of you probably just had all your hair stand up on end, but as we are learning, that any of these things are just a tool, and as long as you set up your safety parameters, you'll be safe. So I think often why people are freaked out about Ouija boards is because they just open up the door. They're just like, anybody can come on in, and whee! I mean, you set your circle, you set your protection, you talk to the bigger powers that be, depending on who they are in your world. I like to chat with my spirit guides because one of them is the gatekeeper. Two of them now might be the gatekeeper. As long as you do that, you're safe within it. So don't get freaked out about the Ouija board. Once you start learning your tools, it's very similar to like when you had to learn how to drive a car, right? You're very concerned about, my eyes have to be moving every 3 seconds, and I've got to make sure that when I started driving, it was hand over hand. From what I understand, we do this now. I can't do that. But how soon to start braking, how to make the left-hand turn so that it's, all of those things. Once you've been doing it for a while and once you're practiced, it comes, right? And you can listen to the radio and sing your favorite songs like you're a rock star. And working with your psychic tools works very similar to that. So your psychic stuff is over here. I feel like I have a knowing. And then your working with your tools is over here. You're getting good with the numbers, or you're getting good with how the communication works for you. Because I feel like everybody, it's going to translate a little bit differently. I have cards that I read in very specific ways that if other people were to read them, they'd be like, oh, I don't read that card that way. So I feel like it's about you getting good with your specific tools. And what happens once you start getting comfortable with it, that's when the magic happens, right? So where your psychic stuff, you can just kind of let go, just like when you're driving in the car and singing your songs, you can just start using your tool, and your subconscious now has room to play. I've been gathering with a collective, and if we create masterminds. When two people come together, it creates a third thing that's bigger than both of them. Shoo! So that thing has been happening, which has opened up a new level of, it's making me feel like there's a download happening. So the last time I had a download like this, a big download like this, was several years ago at the beginning of me being able to channel and do really strong medium work. So I know that this is a big deal. I feel it in my head. I feel it in my body. And the ladies I was working with last night, we were able to connect really strongly. And so then we all became part of the system with the physical tool we were using. The thing that I was noticing that was happening was the physical tool becomes less and less needed the more and more you use it. I hope that makes sense. So it's like when I'm using my cards, I use the cards as a kickstart. It's like the turning on of the key, right? And then if you've ever had a reading with me, at some point I ditch them. Like they're all sitting out, but I'm out here. Like I'm out looking and I'm getting messages. So anyway, pick a tool. I feel like I'm using the word tool as even meditation. Even when I go into my psychic thing, part of my tool is, or part of my resources are, I like to sit cross-legged. And I do a thing with my posture. And I like the room set in certain ways. And that for me is also about the tool, right? So for me, I also consider my spirit guides part of the tools that I use to be able to connect. And again, it might not be the right word to use, but that's the idea, is I'm using something as a middle ground to connect me to what I'm looking to connect with. So pick a tool. Whether, and learn it well. One of the tools that have been of greatest advantage for me or great help has been journaling as a tool, like journaling as a psychic tool. And I know that sounds like, how do those two, that doesn't sound mystical at all. But I feel like the journaling creates the stuff in your head into immediate reality. From there, you can move into automatic writing. You can move to journaling out your dreams, which will give you some hints and clues. Journals for me creep into, very organically move into Book of Shadows, which now is your magical tome, right? So if you are interested in using, I don't know, if there's a tool that you're interested in using and you want to boost it further, I'm available for classes. I have Mondays, some Mondays available, some Sundays available. We can do the 3-month tour, or we can just hit a one-off here and there if you just kind of need a little bit of boost. I'm finding that working with this collective right now is boosting my stuff so much more than I ever could on my own. Like, it's happening faster. So when, you know, in my history, when I was using books and I was using the internet quietly and I was using my own stuff quietly, I was getting there. It just took longer. Like this, becoming a part of this mastermind with these other ladies who are also have their own very individual things to bring to the table, literally, it's making things happen so much faster. It's incredible. So if you want to work with me, whether it's here or there or on a month-to-month basis, it will help. Working with somebody will help boost your stuff so much faster. Tools. Think about it. I'd love to have some discussion with you in the, in the comments of this video. The tools that you've had the most success with, maybe the tools that you've been afraid to try, and any questions you might have, stick them in the comments. I'm going to drink some tea now. Have a great day, everybody. Happy Tuesday.